Hello gamers, welcome to Table Talk. Today we're going to do how to play Haunt the House. First, let's set up the game. Based on the number of players, you set up a certain amount of rooms. In this case, we're going to do a 2-player game. So you're going to shuffle the deck of rooms, and for a 2-player game, we're going to take the top 3. And then put the rest of the rooms in a face-down deck. After we have the rooms set up, we're going to shuffle up the ghost hunters, which have a doorknob on the back side of their cards. We're going to shuffle those up, and then put one in each room in the doorway, so that is the ghost hunters who will be haunting at the start of the game. Let's talk about the anatomy of a room and a ghost hunter. The room has a doorway, the name, and a power. Each ghost hunter will go in through the doors. You have certain icons that will get you certain points, skull points, and then the requirements to scare the hunter. After you set up each room, make sure the point tokens are in reach of all players. Give each player a deck and a ghost token. In this case, we're going to do yellow, has its own deck, and pink, which has their own deck. Each ghost has their own personal deck that they will be playing the game with. They will then shuffle their decks, then shuffle up the trophy tiles, and each player will take a blue tile and a red tile. These trophy tiles are certain symbols similar, if not the same, as the ones on the ghost hunters. At the end of the game, the trophy tokens, or their icons, are just a bonus icon, in which case all icons or symbols on the ghost hunters will be scored exponentially. We'll get to that later. Once each player has the trophies and their decks and the rooms have been set up and everything else has been set within reach, we're ready to begin the game. Now, this is set up for a beginner game as well. For an advanced game, you can play with the phantom cards. More into that in a minute. I will acknowledge when the person may get a phantom card if they so choose, but in a beginner game, there isn't really much of an option. So, to begin the game, each player draws a starting hand of 3 scares. Let's look at this one. There are 4 types of scares in this game. The varying types of scares are moans, bumps, creaks, and chills. And the way your turn will work is you have a choice of doing actions or making a boo. Let's go over the actions first. When performing actions, if you have less than 3 cards in your hand, you may draw from the deck as one action. Another action would be to play a card to the top of the room face up. Now when a card is played face up on top of a room, it has to be one of the indicated scares on the hunter in order to play on top of the room. But by doing so, you're allowed to take the action of the room. So in this case, if I play a book, since it requires a book, I can draw 2 cards to add to my hand. As a second action, our last option of 3 possible actions is to play a card face down below a room. Now, by doing so, it does not have to actually match the hunter. It could be any card you want. After performing any 2 actions, same action twice if you want, at the end of your turn, you may choose to discard cards out of your hand and draw back up to 3. Anyway, let's talk about the alternatives. The alternative is to make a boo. Let's say it's later in the game. Now, let's say we want to make a boo in the dining room. The first thing we'll do is flip all flipped down cards first. If the revealed cards are acquired, each player will take their token and put it on the room. In which case, after the room is resolved, they will get bonuses if that player actually has an acquired card. In this case, yellow has a card that matches the symbol. If he was bluffing, they would not get a bonus. Also, if they played multiples of the required cards, they will only get 1 bonus. If I'm making a boo, we flip over cards, and then, based on the cards in my hand, I can then finish off the requirements. In this case, there's 1 bump and 2 chills. All I need is 1 more chill to finish the room. I can play it from my hand, which will then allow me to take the hunter. Everyone will get their cards back, put in their discard pile. Anybody's token who is on the room starting with the player who initiated the boo, going in a clockwise fashion, will then be allowed to get their bonuses. In a beginner game, your only bonus is to get a point. If you're playing an advanced game, you can take the skull, or you are allowed to be given 2 phantom cards, as we discussed earlier, keep one and discard the other. Once that has been resolved, everyone will get their token back, room will go to a room discard pile, a new room will be revealed, and a new ghost hunter will go into that room with new requirements, new symbols, and a new power. The game will continue until a player has 4 ghost hunters. Unless it is a 2-player game, like we've set up here, in that case when a player gets their 5th ghost hunter. Once a player gets their 5th ghost hunter, all remaining players will be allowed to take a boo turn, where they will take 1 turn and they are allowed to try to yell boo and scare a room, if possible, or if they feel like they can. If not, they can pass their turn. Once everyone has taken their last turn, the game will end and you'll score points. Various points will include the skulls, if you're playing an advanced game, phantom cards. However, some phantom cards do remove points, so be careful when playing with these. And we'll also take in the symbols, as I mentioned before, into account, in which case everyone will reveal their hidden trophies, and the trophies and symbols will be scored exponentially. So if you have 1, you get 1 point. If you have 2, each one will be worth 2 points. In this case, 2 candlesticks will be worth 4 points. And if you have 3 for 9, 4 for 16, and 5 for 25. And that is all the points available. Anyway, that's how you play Haunt the House. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.